Podcast City Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Deathmatch Russell Podcast. Let's get it on!
Come into the ring, step into the fire, see what you want, baby. If your heart has desire, get out, get knocked down. Deathmatch Russell Podcast, Deathmatch Russell Podcast, Deathmatch Russell Podcast.
Good evening, everyone, and you're listening to another episode of the Deathmatch Russell Podcast. And tonight, my guest is Showtime Luca Mancini. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Dave?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Last time I saw you, you were just coming off, almost had the victory over a tag team match in the Thrillbillies versus Monster Mac and a guy called Black G's from the Demon Squad, I guess. The Demon Squad or whatever they call themselves these days, you know.
Yeah, that Monster Mac and that Black G's, you know. We put up a little bit of a fight, but those are some big boys. They came to play, and they weren't ready to let go of the titles just yet.
No, they weren't. They but you came to play, so you guys had you gave it all your all, even though Monster had the power behind him, you know. But always the next time when a monster could fall. You know that.
Yes. Always the next time.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, how you been? Pretty good? Busy? Keeping busy?
Been all right. Been very busy. Working shows, you know, working, parenting. The hustle never stops. We're grinding, trying to get, you know, pick up that next W at Titan. Maybe next time I'm there or whatever the opportunity comes along. I'm trying to seize it, make the most of it, you know? You gotta
get that W, that gold, you know, just any, you know, even that fun house gold, you know, whatever, you know. You gotta remember they have a title too. Can't forget that, right? but anyway, man, let me start off by what, as a kid growing up, what was wrestling like for you?
Well, I'm actually a little older than I look. I grew up during the Attitude Era. So I grew up on Shawn Michaels. I grew up on Stone Cold, Undertaker, you know, Bret Hart. Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels were my absolute two first loves as far as wrestling goes. So I grew up in a very good era to be a fan, and that's where my love started, and it just blossomed from there, you know.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So, like, going to your first event, what was that like as a kid?
I actually didn't go to my first event until I was pretty much an adult. My parents were never super supportive of my fandom of wrestling or my interest in wrestling or my interest in becoming a pro wrestler. So, yeah, I didn't really get my first opportunity to go to a live show until probably it had to be around 2011 or something like that. I think the first show I saw was in Reading, Pennsylvania, and it was John Cena and Randy Orton main evented. It was very good.
Ooh.
It was right before Rumble.
Yeah, I remember I went to a house show and I saw John Cena versus Jericho in a cage.
See, that's fun.
At the MetLife Stadium or whatever the hell they call it nowadays.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, to see them two go at it, you know, just icons, you know, their era, you know, the eras have changed though, you know, between Chris Jericho, of course, you know. Just
cage match is always fun to watch. You're always going to get something entertaining in a cage, especially at a house show, because sometimes they go bigger at a house show just to see what works.
And I'm sure you had your experience in the cage a couple of times.
I've actually never seen, or I shouldn't say I've never seen a live cage match. I saw a few live cage matches when I worked at 1CW show down in Delaware a few months ago, but as far as the bigger national companies go, I never saw.
I'm talking about you being in the cage. I bet.
Not yet. You give me the opportunity to be in a cage though, man. I'm all over it. That's definitely a dream match, something I'd like to check off the bucket list. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So Titan, keep your eyes open, ears open. Come on, we need some cage. Luca is a cage. You know, come on. He's not afraid. You know, you can take out Akeem or whatever his name is. The our you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, the Iran guy, Shorham. you know.
He's got to get Merck first on September 17th.
He does. He's got he opened his mouth. He had that coming though, I think, you know. But you need to step in line and maybe have maybe you versus Merck one of these days.
I'd be all for it. I've seen Merck work. I know what he can do. I also know what I bring to the table. And I know I'm one of the smaller dogs in the fight, but I'm still a dog. I'm going to bite, and I'm going to come with everything I got, no matter who's in that ring with me, whether it's Monster Mac and Black G's, whether it's Merck. Whatever the opportunity is, I'm going to make the most of that opportunity.
Right. Absolutely. So any doors are open. So keep on coming, right?
And if they're not open, I'm going to kick them open. So
yeah. But man, so what was your last event that you were at just recently? What did you just what was your last show you were on?
A few weeks ago, I did Smash Masters down in Troop, Pennsylvania. It was their debut show. It was fantastic. I had a one-on-one match with Chael Connors. Unfortunately, came out on the losing end of that one, but it was a learning opportunity for sure to work with somebody as skilled and as talented as Chael is. I definitely have some gripes with the way he went and defeated me ultimately in the end, but I'll get my opportunity again to one up him.
Opportunity knocks, right? Opportunity knocks every time, you know. But what got you? Let me ask you this: what caught your eye of Titan Championship Wrestling? Ooh, that's a good. What caught your attention to that? To be part of the family and be where you
Titans
are today.
got some of the big dogs on the East Coast, you know. And if you want to be a big dog on the East Coast, if you want to be a big dog in this game, Titan's a good place to start. You got Gangone, you got Marconi, you know, you got guys like that running roughshod through the industry that are making waves on the Northeast. And if you want to be one of those guys that's making waves on the Northeast, you got to step up to the plate, and Titan's the place to do it. So
and Luca, don't get me wrong. We've seen some top talent come in as well. You know, we've had Hunter Drake. We've had just the list goes on and on. There's some pretty names that we've brought that have been on TV and have been showcased everywhere. You know, it's pretty amazing to see what Titan has to bring to the table as well, and opportunity wise for you. You know,
absolutely, it's a prime opportunity to showcase myself, and I didn't go there knowing what I was getting myself into, but the opportunity arose, and I think I made most of it, and I think I made an impression. And even though myself and the Mastodon, we came out on the losing ends, I think I impressed, and I believe that I'm going to get more opportunities to impress in the future.
Absolutely. You know, come September 17th, we have another show coming up, Causing Damage. So it's a great name for always a great name for a show, Causing Damage. You know, but yeah.
I'm more than excited to be there again. I think it's at the Adrenaline Sports Academy in Toms River. So if you're in the area, definitely check it out. Check me out. Check out the show.
I know. And then October rolls around. We're coming to my area, my hometown, my VFW post. So we're looking forward to Titan showcasing and bringing fans out. And
they got a good slate of shows ahead.
I called the neighbor. I called my neighbor up. I told him he's got some kids, so I was like, they're a part of like a baseball team. So come on out, get a whole row sold out almost, or we'll just sell out altogether.
Absolutely.
Brick was known for wrestling back in the heyday. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's where the first school came out of. I'm sure you heard of that. Iron Mike Sharp ran a school.
Yes, absolutely. And then we got Mount Olympus in November, if I'm not mistaken. So
I know I'm gonna have to make my way up that way for that one. I think I will have to get my ass out there and go and support because it's gonna be good. Can't miss the Mount Olympus. That's our pride. That's like our specialty. We love it. It's our pride. Our championship of championships, and it's a whole night of chaos of winning. Good time, good winnings from you guys and females, of course. Can't leave them out. The Titan females, the goddesses
for the table.
Yeah, after what we just saw this past week, oh my gosh, at the last show, three-way dance for the gold, man, that was pretty good. That was pretty interesting, and opened up can of work, open a wake up call to Vicky, because she made that call, and I got a hold of Amanda, and she had a message for her, and I guess that got through to Vicky, and so they're gonna.
Amanda better be ready. Vicky's coming.
I know, but and we're seeing all these. We're seeing Adrian Steele making her debut, or she's been there before, I believe, and Nikki Adams, I think. Nikki Adams, I think her name is. Nikki Dukes.
Yeah, her. Good match for sure. I've seen Adina work many times.
I was gonna say I've seen her wrestle.
Adina is top notch. So
yeah, I've seen her.
That one.
I've seen her work a lot of shows for the H2O Academy over there in Williamstown for Matt Tremont. She's one of those tough individuals, and she's been featured everywhere. She even dabbles in the no ring stuff once in a while. Insane, But let me ask you this: what's your talking about like Shawn Michaels, right? Let's favorite Shawn Michaels moment. Ooh,
favorite Shawn Michaels moment. So my first show that I remember as a kid watching is WrestleMania 9. Mm-hmm. That's not a memorable one. It just happens to be memorable because it was the first one I watched. But the first memorable moment I have in pro wrestling is him jumping off that ladder at WrestleMania 10. Him and Razor Ramon, that ladder match, spectacular to me. Always, always, always go back to WrestleMania 10. Between that match and the match with Bret Hart and Owen Hart, WrestleMania 10 is everything to me. But I always picture Shawn Michaels jumping off that ladder. That's such a big spot for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think my memory is Shawn Michaels seeing him live at WrestleMania 5 as the Rockers, as a kid. Crazy, right?
A little before my time.
Yes. Watching him in Atlantic City, my gosh, that was still a moment to go back and replay the history behind that night. Of course, the Mega Powers explode and Hogan and Savage. That was like just a rival that we always wanted to see, and it just over the years they always hated each other, liked each other. It was just a bond, and plus Elizabeth.
They had every combustible possible thing involved in that story, and we finally got that fight between Hogan and Savage, and they brought it.
Mm-hmm. But I believe I remember. I'll never forget also seeing the Blue Blazer.
Okay.
Owen Hart, before he did his little incident and hanging himself and suicidal, or that was probably after, but shame, But other than that, what other shows have you caught your eye? Like when you were watching as a fan, TNA wrestling and ECW, or
I was never big. I was pretty much a WWE kid for the longest time.
WCW,
I never dabbled too much into. The thing that caught my eye with WCW, and maybe it's because I'm a smaller guy myself, maybe it's because I'm more of a technical-minded guy. The cruiserweights were always my thing in WCW. Everything else, all the NWO drama, I wasn't as invested in that stuff. But you give me those cruiserweights, you give me Psychosis, you give me Chris Jericho, you give me Malenko and Ray, and just all those. At one point, Juventud Guerrero, like that was everything for me. I would tune out of Raw just long enough to see the cruiserweights do their thing and switch back onto Raw.
Right.
That was my favorite thing about WCW. I never got big into TNA. TNA came along in an era where I kind of wasn't watching wrestling for a little while.
Yeah.
I caught bits and pieces. It helped when Angle and Christian Cage got over there, but for the most part, I never got too into TNA. I jumped back into being a fan of wrestling when I got a little bit older, and CM Punk and Bryan Danielson came around, and they hooked me right back in, and I started watching some of their old Ring of Honor stuff. So some of the older Ring of Honor stuff is stuff I've always loved, but
Yeah. I was lucky. I've got to see CM Punk do his final match at Ring of Honor's Final Battle. No, that's before Dishonor 2. In Edison at the arena there. Forgot about that versus Austin Aries. Like his historical moment. Seeing Bryan Danielson at Final Battles and at a juniors tournament. Like it was insane, man. Just to see them and go up to New York for the Final Battles, amazing. I had the area, I wish I was earlier, but I caught the good, the Kings of Wrestling and, when Claudio was really Claudio and Eddie Kingston, just everybody was just on their game. And, it was just, it's amazing. It was amazing time, to be a fan of wrestling, just to get that taste of it, to dabble into and just to be a part, like a fan of like Jersey All Pro Wrestling when that came around, because that brought a lot of independent talent as well, and also like Phoenix Championship Wrestling that ran out of Toms River, New Jersey in the mid 90s, was another staple for a lot of the guys that, people never knew. That was like because you had WCW guys, you had just legends and just everybody came through the door. It was pretty cool. But then now you got wrestling all over. You can't beat it. No,
it's everywhere. And I think this is one of the more underappreciated eras of wrestling and what's offered and available to people. Every possible thing that you could possibly want in wrestling is available if you look for it. I know there's a lot of negative people out there who have their issues with this, that, and the other thing, but if you don't like one thing, there's something out there for you. And I'm talking streaming services like IWTV. They make available so many different options for you. If WWE is not giving you what you want, or if AEW is not giving you what you want, there's so much.
I know. It's amazing, and people don't realize all these little promotions are just need to be checked out, and that's a good streaming service for people to check out. Cheap service. Come on, you can't go wrong for that price. know.
Especially if you're not happy with WWE, you don't want Peacock because Peacock's the worst. IWTV is the same, same price as WWE Network used to be, $9.99 if I'm not mistaken. Now $10 a month for all the wrestling you could possibly want. Great indie wrestling everywhere. You got Camp Leapfrog, just every possible thing.
Let me ask you this: Let me ask you this, Luca. What do you currently what's catching your eye on IWTV? As in like New South Wrestling? New South is doing pretty good things. They're great every Monday night with the territory. That's like really good. It's catching my eye with because you got that guy AC Mack who's really on top with his game. With the title.
It's a guy that knows how to work a crowd. That's a guy that knows how to and enjoys making the people hate him. But when he gets inside that ring, man, you got to watch out because that guy can fight. He's going to put up a fight. He's going to wrestle around you, and he's going to make you look like a clown, just like he was saying you are a clown. Same way he was telling all those fans that they're clowns. That's AC Mack in a nutshell. So New South is definitely one I enjoy. Like CW on Fight. We got Fight TV too. Like, there's so many options out there.
You have Game Changer Wrestling. It's just a mix of everything, Just like everything's out there, You're like, wow. It's like, what else do we need? Do Japan?
There's always new companies blowing up too. Like I said, Smash Masters is going to be on IWTV very soon. I cannot recommend enough checking out their debut show when that hits IWTV. HTW High Tension Wrestling, they're bringing it. Here in Northeast Pennsylvania, where I'm located now, I'm originally from Staten Island, but I currently live outside Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, which is right in the Poconos. The scene in Northeast Pennsylvania, so like from Scranton down to, let's say, Allentown, this scene here is blowing up. It's absolutely blowing up. Smash Masters, HTW, PPW, Frontier. We got this company, Undisputed Championship Wrestling, starting out in Pennsylvania.
The Sanctuary as well.
The Sanctuary always has great things going on. I think more people need to check them out and the shows that they do, and just the art that happens in the Sanctuary is fantastic. But the scene here, I cannot talk about enough in Northeast Pennsylvania. It's blowing up, and I'm glad to be right in the heart of it. I'm glad to be a part of it.
And that's like coming out of the shore and watching being a part of Titan and other companies as well. It's just like everywhere you go, it's wrestling, man. We're just blessed with wrestling. It's
The Northeast is booming. It's a good time to be part of the business. It's a good time to be a fan.
And if you're not, you go out west. My gosh, they got some good feds out there. People West Coast LA fights to
Prestige. If I'm not mistaken, they're based out somewhere in Portland around there. They do
Prestige. You got Loco Wrestling out of Texas.
Yep.
You got Black Label Pro. You got Freelance Underground.
Yep, you start digging into Ohio, the scene in Ohio. That's goals right here in Pennsylvania right now, man, because Ohio is huge.
I know.
All those companies put on great shows with great talent, new talent all the time coming out.
And plus, a lot of wrestlers have schools and they actually put on shows as well, which is awesome. It's amazing. Like some top talent that we know. It's like Swerve Strickland or just like just Zachary. I don't know. There's so many guys out there. We can just go on and on.
Zach Wentz is out of Ohio. Ace Austin took over when MSK, as they were in NXT, when they got signed to MSK, they couldn't do their school anymore. What did they do? Ace Austin took over as their head trainer. So you got guys like Damian Chambers, who's blowing up. He's going to be huge before you know it. Damian Chambers, keep your eye on the guy. He trains with Ace Austin. He trained with the guys from MSK, Zach Wentz and all them. That's a premier school right there in the heart.
Tell you what, I never forgot the day I saw him wrestle for Combat Zone Wrestling. The first day he stepped foot in the dojo, and just after that, he became a star. Just moved on to good things. That's what happened. That's what happens, man. It's like you see the top stars now on NXT. Joe Gacy. I'm just laughing at all those great promos he still does. He just still has it, man. Huge shout out to him. He's one of those guys that's been with the cup. He's been there. And Drew, the Gulak brothers. I don't even know if they're still on TV or not. I don't even pay attention no more.
Drew's there. He's on TV sometimes.
Yeah. They made wrestling, for combat style.
Gulak was a favorite of mine for sure.
Yeah. Now, independent guys, who do you like on the scene? There's so many. We could talk, like we said, AC back. Oof. We say, I could say Jordan Oliver. I could say Jaden Newman.
Yep.
Don't forget that Jaden runs that building. That's his promotion at TEW, I think TWE. Okay. That's his building. Yeah, he runs that. That's awesome.
If I'm going to talk about indie guys that I'm keeping an eye on, I'm going to be a little selfish and throw a shout to some of my guys, some of the guys that I think people need to see. Somebody like Skylar Kincaid, or maybe an angry old man like H.C. Loke. I don't know if you've ever seen anything from H.C. Loke, but the guy's fantastic. He's also an amazing trainer. I faced one of his students, Shell Connors, I was talking about earlier, TJ Epics, Saren Rain, Aaron Roxas is out there. These are all guys that need to be seen. Philly Mike Swanson. These are all guys. If you're not watching, you should be watching. And if you're not watching, you should be watching. You're going to be seeing them soon, whether you like it or not.
I know. Just like Big fucking Ben, and just you never knew who's going to step in our ring. Just the door's wide open. Anywhere.
You're looking for some indie wrestlers to look for. Those guys I just shouted out are guys to get your eyes on. Riley Crow. As far as girls go, check out Riley Crow. She's a solid one. She's one that needs to be blown up too, and I think she's going to blow up soon.
Yeah, it's like I told Billy about Hossman. That guy Hossman on New South. Nolan Hossman. I mean, man, he's like a guy that needs to be seen on our side of the road. I think we get people like that. Cornbolt. I think we see one called Manders on a Titan show. I'm trying to work on that. I would like to get that guy to come and do a show. I know, because he just moved to the East Coast, so good for him. But yeah, the scene, man, right now, like I say, there's so many promotions that people just need to see and be heard. Go be there, or just watch their TV or telephone or whatever. It's just the era that we say we're blessed with what we have. But you look on TV and you look in worldwide, we got just tons of wrestling. I mean, think about it. You got Ring of Honor, you got AEW, within the New Japan stuff. Like, what's next for them?
Yep.
AEW's gonna. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think I was just looking at the. I think after. Oh no, it started already. I think they have an event tonight. I was looking at the Acclaim versus the Gun Club in a dumpster match.
That's going on tonight in a dumpster.
Yes. I wonder where they got that idea from. Huh?
Yeah.
Or Al Snow. Hey, Al. Right? Oh boy, man. No, that's just bringing the hardcore to get people. The Acclaim, we know what they're like, so can't stand them. Never forget the time that they came to our the combat zone, and I was in the hallway, and they just caused a ruckus with Brandon Kirk and a whole bunch of other people. Oh, it was crazy. I told them to shut the front door. It was great. But what you watching any current movies right now? Anything catching your eye with your kids or yourself or
my kids? We just went and saw Super Pets, DC Super Pets on Thursday or Friday last week. It was
my
Kevin Hart and The Rock. They're hysterical.
I think my niece and nephew just saw Minions. Yes, and she dressed up. My niece dressed up. I haven't seen anything good. I heard Thor was really good. I need to go see that one.
I haven't seen that. I haven't been watching too many movies. I haven't been digging into too many movies.
I know.
There was a Adam Sandler movie on Netflix I watched pretty recently. That was good. It was a basketball movie. I'm forgetting what it was called though. That was very good.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Adam's Uncut Gems, I don't know if you've seen that as far as Adam Sandler goes. Stressed me out. Yeah. Such a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any TV shows? I'm not really a TV guy anymore like I used to be. Like I just don't watch. I watch more wrestling than anything, I think. For
the most part, I'm watching either, WWE, AEW, or old wrestling. Digging into old Ring of Honor or, watching old WCW cruiserweight stuff. I don't get too much time to watch TV anymore.
No. YouTube has a good selection as well. People don't realize.
Yeah, absolutely does.
Dabble and go back and look at old matches from like local promotions, and it's just like different kind of wrestling. It's like wow, But music wise, what are you into? What's your go-to music? Everything? Anything? Uh-oh. There we go.
I don't know if that was me, but we're back.
Yeah, I was going to say music-wise, what's your go-to music right now? What are you into?
I listen to a lot of crappy pop punk. To be quite honest, the Wonder Years, old earlys, mid 2000s stuff, brand new, Say Anything, Bayside, Gaslight Anthem, a lot of stuff other people don't generally like.
Yeah, like Violent Idol, Violent Idol, and like it's like John Moxley's band. They're really just blowing it up. I like their Rancid, of course. Can't go wrong with Rancid.
No, you can't go wrong with Rancid.
Lars doing all his new hits and stuff. It's amazing. He's got some stuff out there. I like. It's just bands are bands. It's just music's music.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's go watch some AEW pretty soon. What do you say? Catch up. I think it's time to play. Go hit the reverse button on the play button. On our go-to TVs or whatever the hell we have. I don't even know anymore. On demand.
I'm recording, so I'm good.
Oh, okay.
DVR,
Yes. What are our DVDs, right? Do we even have those no more? I tell people that. I say, go through and tell your friends what a DVD is. They don't even know anymore,
No, my kids barely know what a DVD is.
Yeah.
Take out of the case and throw them across the room like they're Frisbees, but...
Yeah. But anyway, Luke, this was awesome, man. Let's do this again. I will be seeing you soon at Titan, September 17th.
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
But feel free to plug whatever you want to plug.
I'll just plug some of the events coming up. I mean, I kind of talked to them about them a little bit, but I'm going to keep talking about these promotions, these guys, because I love them. This Saturday, I got Frontier Pro Wrestling in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. If you happen to be in the Poconos, come out and check out the show. It's a tag tournament for the NEPA Cup. Myself and Aaron Roxas are teaming up. We are the associates. We are winning the tournament. That's inevitable, just so you know. On August 21st, we got Undisputed Championship Wrestling. That's their debut show in Nanticoke, Pennsylvania at Tilbury Hall in Nanticoke, Pennsylvania. Yeah. That's for a heavyweight title. Their tournament, I'm winning that one as well. But come see it happen because, you want to see Showtime work, right? August 28th, Smash Masters returns, Troop Civic Center. Do not miss this show. Myself and Roxas tagging again. We're facing the Runway. You don't want to miss that.
Ooh, the Runway. Ooh, we've put them in the hole. All right.
We know. Don't worry. Yeah. I'm going to punch them in the mouth and they'll stop. And then September 17th, there's some other dates too, but we're going to plug this one. September 17th, Titan Championship Wrestling causing damage at the Adrenaline Sports Academy in Toms River. Luca Mancini doesn't know what he's involved with yet, but Luca Mancini is involved in that show. So if you're going to be in the area, if you're not going to be in the area, make the trip. Come on out. It's going to be an amazing show. I don't know if you've seen all the notches that have been announced. This card is ridiculous, and I'm a part of it. So please.
And you will be part of October 1st as we cause Fierce Intentions as well.
Yes, Fierce Intentions. Where is that one? You said that's in your back.
Yes, that's the Brick Post 83.
Brick, 85. That's right. That'll be in Brick. And in November, they got Mount Olympus. So you got a chance to check out Titan Championship Wrestling. Definitely come check us out.
And if they can't, and if they can't be there live in person, they can always go on mobifytv.com and there you go. Order it. I got to redo my thing. I think it overdue. I didn't pay the balance.
There you go. So you definitely check out Championship Wrestling. You need to check out all these other companies, all this talent that I shouted out. Check
IWTV, Fight TV. There's so much good wrestling out there. They need to sponsor us. Come on. Just for plugging them every time.
I'll take a sponsorship. I won't say no. $20 is $20.
Yes, but Luke, I want to say thank you for coming on, and
thank you for having me. Soon. Yes, sir. Good night.
Yep. You too. All right, folks, you heard it here from Luke. He's ready. He's a busy man. He's got a lot coming on his table, and yes, it's going to be busy wrestling, and as well Wrestling Titan Championship Wrestling. September 17th, huge, solid, stacked card, as we said and talking about, and just. It's going to be everybody's going to be causing damage, and it's going to be great. And then October 1st, we're going to be at the VFW Hall in my backyard and in Brick Township, New Jersey. I should plug it right. Let me go ahead and plug because we need to plug this. Got to plug it. Causing damage. No, not this. Let me see where it is. Got a little cheat sheet here. Pictures. Yes, VFW Post 8867 373 Adamston Road, Brick, New Jersey, Brick Township. Doors open at 6 p.m. Bell time will be at 7 p.m. and advance tickets start at $20. At the door, $30. At the door, $30. Yes. And always get your tickets on www.titanchampionshipwrestling.com as well. Check out their line of merchandise. They got some great stuff. Check out Luke's merch as well. He has some stuff out there. I have some stuff too. Everybody has merch. We just got to support each other and buy merch and support each other. Buy the merch and support professional wrestling, support independent wrestling, support female wrestling, support lucha wrestling, support the LGB community wrestling, and much, much more, fans. Good night. Till next time on the Deathmatch Wrestle podcast. Stay tuned this Friday night. My guest will be, we have been putting it off. My guest will be filmmaker himself, Matt. Movie Mike will be on the podcast, and looking forward to talking to him this Friday night at 8 p.m. Good night, everybody. Until then, Deathmatch Wrestle podcast. We support wrestling as always. And that's a wrap. Get out of this stuff.
You can find more Deathmatch Wrestle podcast on the following. Just hit the like button and share. You can hear the audio portion of Deathmatch Wrestle podcast on Stitcher Radio and on iTunes. Social media, Deathmatch Wrestle podcast on Facebook, Twitter at DavidNJ32. Instagram, DavidNJ36. YouTube, David C. Russell. And DeathmatchRussellPodcast.com. Podcast City Network, your top source for independent podcasting. Be creative, be yourself. PodcastCity.net. Facebook, Podcast City Network. Twitter at Podcast City Net. Deathmatch Russell Podcast merchandise available. PodcastCity.net/shop. Joners Wrestling Podcast Network. Head over to WrestlingWithJoners.com. Follow them on Facebook, Joners Wrestling Podcast Network. Twitter at with Joners _pod. I want to mention Collar and Elbow. CollarandelbowBrand.com. Use the promo code Deathmatch Russell Podcast and save 10% off when you make a purchase. Deathmatch Russell Podcast.